If you're wondering how to get rid of that stubborn belly fat that just won't go away, well, pay attention to today's video. We're going to give you the top 2 causes of belly fat and what to do about it. Hey, I'm Nathan Crane.
I'm Derek Crane.
And we're the co-founders of Crane Factor, where we bring you programs, products, and inspiration on healthy living,
fitness training,
and creating an amazing life. And today we want to talk about belly fat. Now, there are multiple causes to it, and there are multiple solutions. We've actually created an entire free video series you can check out. We'll put the link below that goes into a lot more detail on this. But today, we want to share with you 2 of the top causes of belly fat, and this will give you some insight about what you can do to start burning that fat today. So, Derek, you want to talk about number 1?
Number 1 is processed sugars. So this falls into a different category than simple sugars. What we're talking about here is mainly things like soda, where a lot of people will have just one soda a day, thinking that I'm just gonna have one today, so it's not that big of a deal, rather than having 3 to 4. But really what that's doing is spiking up sugar content into your body where it doesn't even know how to process it.
Right, so you might have high fructose corn syrup, you might have cane sugar, you might have other forms of processed sugar in whatever you're eating or drinking, as Derek said, in soda, but also, you're gonna find it in your bread, you're gonna find it added in your box cereals, you're gonna find it added in almost every single thing that you buy from the grocery store that's packaged or processed. If you look at the back and look at the serving content and the sugar content, there's a reason why they don't put percent of daily value on sugar. And it's because if they did, it would say like 300%, 400%, 600%, right? 20 grams of sugar, 25 grams of sugar, 18 grams of sugar per serving. That is a massive amount of sugar for the human body, especially when it's processed, because what happens is the pancreas can't produce enough insulin to support processing that sugar in the body. So what does it do? It stores it as fat. Right? And so that's, for most people, where does it go? It goes right to the belly, right? That extra fat gets stored there. So one of the things you want to start doing right away is avoiding drinks and foods that have over 6 to 7 grams of sugar per serving. If you have food that's got 12 or 18 grams or more of sugar per serving, then completely avoid it, get it out of your diet, throw it in the trash can. Don't even give it away, because you're just giving toxic poison to somebody else and helping them get fat, right? Just literally throw it away. I know, it sucks throwing food away, I actually don't like to. But if it's gonna save you and other people, because that fat eventually can turn into diabetes, can turn into cancer, can turn into other diseases, literally. Too much sugar will eventually turn to disease. So we want to avoid that. So, and the second thing we want to avoid is
we want to avoid excess carbs. So filling in this blank here is if you're not into some form of high intensity exercising, such as doing sprints and running and doing Olympic lifting, and you're really hitting that hard strength training combined with cardio, and you're doing that 5 to 6 days a week, then avoid carbs. If you're like doing some light exercising, definitely make it more minimal on the carb list, because if you're not utilizing that fuel, it will be stored until it is utilized, and if it doesn't get utilized, it gets stored as fat.
Right, and so a couple things differentiate here. We're talking about carbohydrates. You have complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates, your rice, your beans, your starches, your sweet potatoes, your quinoa, these types of things, your grains, your wheat, complex carbohydrates. Those are things that get stored and turn into glycogen and give you energy for exercising. Really great when you're exercising. You need more complex carbohydrates the more you're exercising. If you're doing CrossFit, if you're doing intense things like Derek was talking about, you need more complex carbohydrates. They're going to help you. If you're not exercising very much, complex carbohydrates are going to store as fat in your body. That belly fat we want to get rid of, right? Also, and then the other type of carbohydrate is simple carbohydrates or simple sugars. Your bananas, your apples, your fruits, your berries. Those things you don't need to avoid as much, because if you eat a banana, that's going to process really quickly in your body. If you eat an apple, it's going to process quickly. Those things you should be eating actually a lot more of, replacing more of your complex carbohydrates with more simple carbohydrates. Again, this applies to everybody, but depending on if you're an athlete or not. If you're an athlete working out more than 2 hours a day, you need more complex carbohydrates. If you're not an athlete working out that much, reduce your complex carbohydrates, reduce your grains, your those types of things, your beans, your rices, your corn. Reduce those drastically. Add more fruits and vegetables, right? So again, depending on where you're at and what your goals are. But if you're not burning them, you're storing them, right? We're designed to store these things as a survival mechanism to help us get through the winter time. We can do that, right? Living off the land, you could literally live on your fat for a month or two at a time if you had to survive. But in our daily lives, we don't want that extra fat. We don't need it, right? So this is how you get rid of it. Now, if you want an entire free video series, we did 3 videos where we go into a lot more depth on exactly what you can do to burn that extra fat, lose those pounds really quickly, really easily. We'll put a link below this video. Check that out. You can go get those 3 videos absolutely free. So thanks for tuning in today. If you got some good information from today's video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet, and leave us your questions below.
Thank you. Appreciate you. See you in the next video.
Have a great day.